Imagine you're in a classroom, or a meeting, or maybe you're just watching a video like this one. The speaker is going a mile a minute, throwing out facts, figures, and big ideas. Your hand is moving furiously, scribbling every word down, a river of ink flowing across your pages. Your eyes are glued to the screen and you're sweating, not because you're hot, but because you're terrified you might miss a single word. You fill 5 pages with beautiful, messy, handwritten notes. You feel a sense of accomplishment. I got it all, you tell yourself. But then a friend asks, "Hey, what did the teacher just say?" And you stare at your notebook and then back at your friend, and you realize something terrible. You don't know. Your notebook is full, but your mind is empty. This is a sickness. I call it the copy-paste trap. It's the silent epidemic that plagues every student, every professional, and every single person trying to learn. You think you're learning, but really, you're just giving your hand a workout while your brain takes a nap. You're not processing information, you're just transcribing. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to rescue your tired hands and turn your note-taking from a chore into a superpower. I'm going to show you the 5 biggest mistakes you're making and the simple solutions to help you learn faster and remember more than you ever thought possible. Let's get started. Take a look at your notebook. Does it look like a black and white photocopy of the textbook? Every sentence, every comma, every period copied down exactly as it was said? If so, you've fallen into the first trap, the transcriber's fallacy. The moment you start writing down every single word, your brain shuts down its most important function, deep processing. Think of your brain like a computer. When you copy and paste a file, the computer just moves the data. It doesn't actually understand what's in the file. Your brain works the same way. When you transcribe, you're just moving data from the lecture to the page. You're not analyzing it, not connecting with it, not making it your own. The dangerous part of this trap is the feeling it gives you. You look at a page filled with words, and you feel a false sense of security. You feel like you've learned something. But when the test comes, you'll look at the question and think, I know I wrote this down somewhere, but your brain will have no idea how to recall it. It's like having a library full of books, but no card catalog. So what's the solution? Don't stop writing, just stop transcribing. You need to learn how to summarize using your own language. Instead of writing, photosynthesis is the process used by plants, algae, and certain bacteria to turn light energy into chemical energy, try writing, plants use the sun to make food. It sounds simple, but that tiny act of translation forces your brain to process the information deeply. It makes the knowledge your own, and it makes it stick. Have you ever looked at your notebook and thought, wow, this looks like a work of art? The headings are perfectly straight. The highlighters are color-coded in a way that even Pantone would envy. You convince yourself that because your notes are beautiful, your grades will be too. This is the second mistake, the artist's fallacy. You spend 70% of your time on aesthetics and only 30% on actual learning. Your brain becomes a sticker-applying machine, not a knowledge processor. When you're focusing on making things look pretty, you miss the crucial mental work that happens. While the artist is thinking, okay, blue pen for the title, purple for the example, then a yellow underline, the smart learner's thinking, okay, that's a key idea. I'll summarize it in one sentence. The solution is to remember that your notebook is a tool, not a masterpiece. Write enough so that you understand. Don't turn learning into a decorating contest. The goal is to fill your head, not your pages. Now imagine you're listening to a lecture and suddenly an amazing thought pops into your head. A perfect analogy, a question you've never considered, or a connection to something you learned last week. But you're so busy writing what the professor is saying that you let that brilliant little thought fade away. This is the third mistake, the lost thoughts. Your brain is a powerful engine of connection. It doesn't just record information, it interprets it, questions it, and links it to everything you already know. But if you don't write down your own interpretations, your brain puts those ideas into a lost and found box. And trust me, there is no one at the front desk of your brain's lost and found. The solution is simple. Create space for your own voice. Divide your page into 2 columns, one for the lecture notes and one for your own thoughts. Or just leave a wide margin.
Write a simple question you have. Draw a quick diagram. Jot down a personal example. When you're learning about the law of conservation of energy, you could write a little note next to it like, so if I eat too much cake and don't work out, where does the energy go? This makes learning a conversation with yourself, not just a lecture from someone else. Now for the fourth mistake, orphaned knowledge. Imagine you adopt a rescue dog. It's a sweet dog, but you don't connect it to anything. You just leave it in the backyard. You don't introduce it to the family. It's not a pet. It's just there. This is what happens when you don't link new knowledge to old knowledge. You have all these brilliant facts floating around your brain, but they have no home. Your brain doesn't like one-night stands. It likes to build neighborhoods. It wants to connect all the streets and give every house a number so it can find things later. The solution is to become a connector. Whenever you learn something new, ask yourself two simple questions. What does this remind me of? And how can I apply this to my life? When you learn about the principle of buoyancy, don't just write down the formula. Write down, this is why a beach ball bobs back up in the pool. The more connections you make, the more the knowledge will settle into your long-term memory. Orphaned knowledge is easily lost. Knowledge with a family stays with you forever.
This is the final boss of note-taking. It's a mistake I guarantee 100% of you have made. You take beautiful, smart, well-connected notes. You close the notebook, and you never, ever open it again. This is the fifth mistake, the one-night stand. Your brain isn't a hard drive. It's more like a house with an open door. You can bring information in, but if you don't come back to visit, organize, and clean up, that information will simply walk right back out the door. The notes are on the page, but the knowledge is gone. The solution to this is to embrace spaced repetition. After you take your notes, spend just 5 to 10 minutes reviewing them. Then review them again within 24 hours, a third time after a week, and a fourth time after a month. This simple, consistent habit tells your brain, hey, this is important. Don't forget this. This isn't just an opinion, it's backed by science. There's something called the forgetting curve, which shows how fast you lose information. By reviewing your notes at these key intervals, you're literally fighting that curve and forcing your brain to retain the knowledge. It's like feeding a pet. You can't just feed it once and expect it to survive for a month. Knowledge is the same way. You have to feed it consistently. The 5 mistakes we've talked about, copying, decorating, losing thoughts, leaving knowledge orphaned, and forgetting to review, are the quickest ways to turn your hard work into a stack of useless paper. The goal of note-taking isn't a beautiful notebook, it's a brilliant mind. So, if you've ever made these mistakes, congratulations. Realizing the problem is the first step to fixing it. Now you have the tools you need. Take out your notebook and try just one of these techniques and see for yourself how it feels. I'd love to know which of these 5 mistakes you struggle with the most. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Your one click could help someone else escape the trap of learning and forgetting everything within 24 hours. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, I hope your notebook has fewer words, but your mind has more knowledge.